I think it's really telling that so often we are told, be sure you're everywhere, make sure you're everywhere, post consistently, make sure you are on all the social platforms. In fact, I just got off of a call with the Northern Virginia chapter of the eWomen Network. Thank you so much for letting me come play. And one of the things we were talking about is, this social platform works for me here, this social platform doesn't work for me here. So do I really have to be all the places? As my good friend and cohort, Christy Hansvik with Simply Online would tell you, you really do get to be all the places to establish omnipresence. And you get to have omnipresence before you go to platform ownership, which I will let her tell you all about. In fact, she's got a class coming up next week. I will make sure I put her link to that course in my comments because it's amazing. She's going to teach you month by month. There's calls that help you understand how to create your social media and your online presence. However, this is not that call. I want to share with you today part of my frustration, and I'm sure you've felt it at some level too, is because you have to be all the places and do all the things. It gets really, really easy to start feeling like you are spread too thin, like you are just a mess, like you are always running, running, running. And eventually, what tends to happen is your brand starts getting diluted because you are doing a lot of copy and paste, which, by the way, don't copy and paste your content, repurpose your content. There's a difference. And because you have to be all the different places and do all the different things, it can start feeling like you are running all the places and there's no consistency to it. There's no cohesiveness to it. And that's one of the easiest ways to start feeling like it's not making you money. It's not actually driving sales, driving people to your website, because it probably isn't. It becomes a diluted version of your brand. And it's a very easy way to start letting those profits stagnate because people can't figure out what exactly you do and what exactly it is that you offer. Hey there, I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. And even if it's just virtually, I realize that I'm giving you a high five and a big old hug and kicking your butt all at the same time because that's my job. And my name is Amber Griffiths. For those of you who have not yet met me, I'm Amber Griffiths with Your Brand by Design. I'm a brand strategist and I'm a maker of legends. And what that means is you get to make more money doing what you love and you get to do it your way. To do that, you have to be consistent. You have to have cohesiveness. And today I want to share with you the three things that I want you to focus on because it can really help streamline your message, streamline your time, and it can help you increase your sales and increase your profitability. And yes, it is by building a better brand. So the very first thing I think you should take a look at is make sure you have a plan. I know that we get caught up in, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday, what do I post? Oh my goodness, it's Thursday again, now what do I post? Oh my gosh, it's Friday, I haven't posted yet. Everybody tells me I have to post every day. What do I post? How do I do that? Good morning, Kathleen. I guess it's afternoon now. Nice to see you here. So because there is no plan, there is chaos. And without clarity, there's no cash. So start before you post anything. And it's always been hard to have more than like a 30-day social calendar, social platform calendar. But even now, I would tell you if you get a week ahead, you're doing great. But before you even get down to this is my online plan, have a plan for your business. And I know that seems like that's really basic and no brainer, but got to tell you, if you haven't updated your vision and where you want your business to go in the last 90 days, it is out of date, it is inaccurate, and it won't get you where you want to go. So take a minute to decide, why am I bothering? Have a point, right? It's like in in planes, trades, and automobiles. When you tell a story, have a point. It makes it so much more enjoyable for the listener. Same thing goes with your online platforms, with all your social presence. It goes the same way with your messaging, with your brand. Where are you taking them, people? Where are you taking your business? Where are you going? Have that very, very firmly in your head. I want to build $1 million business this year. I'm going to go to 6 figures this year. I'm going to do 5 figures this year. I want to have 100 clients this year. Whatever your number is, whatever your metrics is, be specific and be clear about where it is you're going. It's going to be so much easier to create consistent content and to keep a really strong, powerful, profitable brand if you know where it is you want to go. So have a plan for that. Say, you know what, I'm going to hit X amount of dollars or X amount of clients or X amount of engagement in the next 45 days. And then you can figure out how everything plugs into that plan. So know where you're going before you just stomp on the gas pedal and hope like hell everybody catches up with you. The next thing I would tell you to look at is your schedule. I just got off this amazing networking event with the Northern Virginia chapter of eWomen Network. And one of the things that we talked about is what we have learned about ourselves during this pandemic, during COVID-19. And one of the most common things was I learned I have to be really strict and really put extra effort into staying structured. And that includes my schedule, because otherwise, it's really easy to be completely distracted and off your timeline and off your plan by 10:30 in the morning. There's enough there are enough things going on. There are enough different directions that you get to be pulled in as an entrepreneur. If you are a mom, if you are a spouse, if you have a partner, all life things, I've got two little puppies they get a spa day to day, those lucky little turkeys. They pull me in a different direction than my daughter does. They pull me in a different direction than my clients do, than my business does, than my coach does. All those things are hard enough to keep organized anyway. Without being very strict, or very structured rather, have a structure, have a schedule for your appointments, have a schedule to put out there to promote your brand and promote your message. Don't just hope you can find time for it today. Now, I understand. I absolutely am living proof of this. You set a plan, you have a schedule, and then you just make the best of what happens anyway. But if you schedule your content, if you schedule the time that I'm going to work in my business this moment, I'm going to work on my business this moment, even if it gets bumped a little bit during the day, it is more likely to happen, and it is more likely to continue to move you forward rather than, oh my goodness, I have 15 extra minutes. Let me hurry and throw something in here and hope it still moves me forward. So schedule those things that you know are important. Schedule your Facebook Lives. Schedule your content postings. Schedule the times when you are going to sit down and create your own content, your own courses. Schedule the time when you're going to do customer and client reach out. These are important parts. And yes, it is branding, and I'll tell you why. You get to be consistent with your messaging. You get to be consistent with how you are showing up for people. One of the easiest ways to go into sales mode or non-new mode is to not have a plan for what you're doing. For example, if you think, I need to sell this product launching that's coming out in 30 days, I'm going to create an email campaign for that. If you have not structured the time and scheduled the time that says, I'm going to work on that on Monday at 10 o'clock, and you just try to fit those campaign writing, the email campaigns, into when you have a minute, it's really easy to lose your persona because you go into sales speak, or you go into pressure, or you lose yourself because you're like, I need to sound this certain way and speak this certain way because now I'm going to sell. When you take a minute, when you are scheduled for that, you can get into more in tune with, this is my persona, this is how I'm showing up in my brand and in my business. And so you don't lose your voice in an email, you don't lose your voice in a social post, because you are prepared and ready to be in the moment and deliver the best possible self to your ideal clients. So have some kind of a schedule for those things that you know are important. Make those your number one priority. The other thing I would tell you, the third key, is to have a list. I am a list maker. I will write things down on my list that I have already done so I can cross them off. Like, it's that kind of, I love lists. I love being able to focus from, I know here's my 10 things I have to do. I know these are my 3 big rocks I have to handle today. So, not that kind of list. Have a list of all of your brand equity. I've used that word before. I've used that phrase before. This is all the things. This is your website, your social platforms, your profiles, your website, any kind of email marketing you are doing, anywhere you are showing up, virtual or otherwise. Have a list somewhere that says, here's the 18 things I have put out there that have my name on it, that have my brand on it. That way, as you change things, there are no stragglers. Everything gets to keep up. If you change a color, if you change an email address, if you add a partner, if you change your name or change the tagline, because now you've decided that something in 2020 needs to shift, this is a really great way to make sure every single piece of that content gets updated accurately. There is no one left behind. This is not the time to let your brand get out of date. This is a perfect time to evaluate that and say, you know what, does my logo look good? Yep. How about my tagline? And my tagline needs to be updated a little bit. It's no longer accurate. What about my content? What about my opt-in? Does my opt-in still do what I think it's supposed to do? Does it still invite people in to engage? Is my Instagram account actually driving sales to my website, or do I need to update my link tree? Like what, all these things, this is the perfect time to look through all those and make sure everything still fits perfectly. I would hate for you to emerge from this or emerge from the summer with a brand that made your butt look big because it just didn't fit. So let's click it up. Let's make sure everything fits. Get a list, create your list and add to it. Make sure that it's an easy document that you can add to every time you create something new. Now, those three pieces are really important: your plan, your schedule, your list. But what if you could have all those in one place too? This is very much, I decided it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. You know how there's several rings, right? The humans have some, the elves, dwarves. If you haven't watched Lord of the Rings, I'm really, really sorry, but you understand the concept. There are pieces of these rings that rule the people underneath them, right? The dwarves, there's one dwarf ring or three dwarf rings, I forget, and it takes care of and rules all the dwarfs. But there's one ring to rule them all. Yes, I totally am watching Lord of the Rings right now and I love it. But there's one ring. That is your brand soundtrack. That one piece of material that brings everything together. If you're not certain what that is, let me tell you right now. Your brand soundtrack is kind of like your style guide and your brand Bible, however you want to phrase that, and your marketing plan got together, had a baby, and it grew up to be legend. That is your market, that is your brand soundtrack. It is a collection, an intentional collection of the lyrics and the music and the rhythms that move your business forward. It has everything in there. If you do not have a brand soundtrack, we should have a conversation. I will actually be offering a brand soundtrack class. I want to say it's going to come up in July, but I'll make sure you keep up on that. It's also going to be a part of the League of Legends. I'm going to invite those people to come in. So if you are in the League of Legends, yes, the brand soundtrack class is coming your way. If you don't have that yet, it's okay. We will work on that together. You can reach out to me, but make sure start with the three pieces. It's okay if you don't have the one ring yet. Make sure that all of your other things are in place. Make sure you have a plan so that you know where you're going. It makes it so much easier to get there if you know where you're going. It's an easy way to stay focused and directed. Be sure you have a schedule, something that allows for some flexibility because we are humans and we are people that have a lot of stuff going on. But if you schedule those things that are absolutely critical, then it is more likely they will happen, and they will happen with intention. They will have a purpose and they will have profit. They will be driving your sales. So take time to schedule them. And the last one, of course, is have a list. Keep a list of everything it is you're creating so that everything stays accurate, everything is up to date and current, and everything reflects your best brand, your best, highest self. Get it done, people. I mean, I love y'all, but you really are all over the place. So let's find a way so that you're all over the place, packs a punch, really makes your mark and makes you worth remarking. I want to help you move from unknown to unforgettable. And that starts with your soundtrack. You've got to be collected in your head. So try those three things. If you get stuck, don't stay stuck. Reach out and watch for the announcements because the brand soundtrack class is coming your way. Until I have a chance to actually see you in person, cheers. Rock on.